personally, and I want to collectively for the black community. What do we want? What is our utopian scenario? Do we want equality? Do we want equal opportunity? Do we want equal outcome? What is it that we covet so bad? And I don't even want to get into how do we get there. That's a whole nother conversation. But just what do we want as black people in this country, in this society?
Yeah. When we was coming up with this question, obviously it's inspired from the Justin Pearson conversation, interview with God, what's the
The
name?
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, the Breakfast Club. My goodness, I'm sorry, Charlamagne. But like, so when we was watching their podcast, the Breakfast Club, and just getting that, just hearing all the different questions that Tez was asking Pearson, I was just wondering, like, year in and year out, we always hear, at least in the black community, these black people not doing enough, or we got to march here to get our justice. Which I'm not saying that justice isn't. I don't think nothing is 100% perfect or 100% where it needs to be, but I will say that improvement is something. Progression is something that we are always looking towards. However, I do want to get, as a unit, as a collective, I do want us to get to a place where, since we do live in America, and it's not just about us, but there is no America without us, and there's no America without white people.
Look at that flip.
There's no there's no America without Asians. There's no America without Latinos. And the list continues. There's no America without Native Americans. But if my question is, and Chris brought it up, what is the utopian scenario? That means the perfect, ideal situation for black people. And just to answer the question from my standpoint, I believe that's us becoming more inclusive, if you will, to the general population. Just from statistics alone, it is shown that more things get done when you're not when you're not thinking about yourself. And you think about, I know this might sound off topic, but when you think about the greatest teams of all time, the Bulls, the Lakers,
Selflessness. Yeah.
yes, it's you see that they're about the team, they're about the objective of winning, and when you get caught up in the eye, and the eye in this case, from my standpoint, is when you get caught up in, well, we got to do this for black people, we got to do that for black people. You could get caught up in that so much that you miss the bigger picture of what the utopian could look like. And when you take your eye off the prize of that, you're gonna constantly beget the same questions of why this is not happening, why we're not seeing this change, and so forth. But until the day that we look past that, not dismiss it, but we see the bigger goal. Here in America, we have seen some great things come out of dark places. And I think as long as we keep our eye on the light and keep our eye on the prize of what we've built, even and this is why you have to realize that this is so powerful, because we have built what we built against the opposition. Like, when I mean opposition, I mean like the the racism of it all, the just everything that goes against
the societal factors at play, I guess.
Yeah, that goes against the success of when people come together to fixate on a goal that needs fixing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, to branch off, when you think about, like I said, the utopian society, like you said, there's unity.
Mm.
And I think, there's a lot of preaching about black people unifying, black people coming together, but if there's no common goal, then one, there's a disconnect from various, parties of what are we coming together for? What are we trying to accomplish if we don't know what we're here for, right? And I think, that's very easy to understand when you look at something like the civil rights, movement, where there was a goal for liberation, a goal for representation, a seat at the table. And you saw that it was able to be accomplished and enacted in politics and law, which I think is very inspiring to me. It's very, promising. And, I think one thing that kind of helped that movement, gain traction and be as powerful as it was the strength of the black leader, the Martin Luther Kings of, that time, the Malcolm X's, the Huey Newtons, the strong black leaders who were able to clearly state the goal, even if they differed in opinion at times. They had maybe a different method to get there, but they had a common goal. And I think that is crucial to change, advancement. And we can, as Calvin said, maintain a universal goal for advancement of people as a whole, and at the same time, desire and advancement of us as black people as well. So those things are not mutually exclusive at all. And I think it's useful when you can acknowledge the differences and the universalities that we all have within each other.
Chris, you bring up a imagery that I found as you were speaking. I found that to be very relatable to this whole thing, right? You hear about the Last Supper, and you see what that looks like. What does it look like to have a seat at the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
You picture it. You're at the table. There's food on it. You don't really. You might care who's sitting beside you, but what's the common goal is this food is about to get bust down.
Yeah, there's community.
We're passing the plate. We're asking, hey, pass the salt, please.
Mm-hmm.
Cracking jokes, whatever that may look like. Just enjoying one another's company, and respecting one another's company, even respecting their elbow space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at that picture and you think about it, it's that's, to me at least, I think that's a utopian society. Being able to break bread, commune with one another, and it's not going to look pretty because sometimes at that table you're going to have conversations that you need to have food over, right? Let me drink this down so I make sure.
Sometimes you're gonna want to put your fork down and pick your hands up, But that's the communal nature of it. Relationships are not always pretty; they're not always perfect, but that's why we're in them. We're in them to grow and to better ourselves and to overcome adversity in them. And I think that's something that's very applicable to this conversation. And again, I love the imagery of, the Last Supper, the communion, the community aspect of it, of people from different backgrounds, different creeds, different colors, different experiences, all coming together and enjoying a goal, a celebration of what has been accomplished, what has been done. And that's just a beautiful thing.